Hey, are we on? I need to find some place to put this. I guess I'll put it right there. Hey, that means we're on. So I wonder, let me try this. Where I can, let me try this. Hang on, cut the sound. Where I can, let me try this. Hang on, cut the sound. Where I can, let me try this. Hang on, cut the sound. Where I can, never mind. Stop it. Bad idea. I thought, well, hey, if I can watch the stuff on my phone, then we'd be all right, right? So let me get YouTube up here so I can see comments if there are any. And I should have done this before, but I didn't. Okay. Good. Gute Nacht. Okay. Let me get this thing out of here too. Hey, I got it fixed. The disc crashed. I had to do I had to fix the file system, but I don't know what happened. It's weird. Because this is the new PC. Well, it's new to me. It's a used PC. I buy a lot of used PCs and stuff for work. Once in a while you get a bad drive. Not very often, but once in a while. So apparently something happened with this drive when I was loading software on it. But the really odd thing is the old machine that's back here behind me on the floor plugged in so I can pull files off of it. It has been turned off for like 4 or 5 days. So I turned it on and it did the same thing. Aliens, I guess. I don't know. I have no other explanation. I really don't. As far as my back goes, it's better, but it sucks. But that's all right. I'm okay right now in this chair. I had a bag of frozen peas on my back for a little while. It'll be fine. It's not my first rodeo with this particular back issue. It happens every time I'm stupid and wear shoes that I shouldn't be wearing, that I should throw in the trash. I don't wear something with a heel in it, like a roper boot or something. It's bad things. It's not good. And I didn't do that yesterday morning when I went looking at cars with my oldest son. And I'm paying the piper. So that's all on me. That's the way it goes. So I thought, I got the Coral Sea here. This is looking pretty good. I just gotta kind of flesh it out a little bit, and smooth it out some more. But in general, this is looking pretty good. I'm not gonna cut the elevators back. I was gonna put some pieces in here. I may not. Truth of the matter is, my brother-in-law is not concerned with it, and I could play with that thing for 3 years easily. And I want to get it done by June, and I want to get this other thing done by June. So, because I'm going to Denver in June for one of my nephews' kind of after wedding party. Him and his fiance eloped a couple of months back. He's in Korea right now. He's in the Air Force, and so they eloped. He flew back and surprised her, I guess, and proposed, and they got married that same weekend, and then he had to go back to Korea. I did get to meet her about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Nice girl, so that's good. But anyway, so bottom line is, I'm not gonna. I don't think I'm gonna work on this on camera anymore because there's really nothing exciting going on with this. Not that there's anything exciting going on with anything else, but this is just gonna be a whole lot of sanding and looking at it and going, and then sanding some more. So there's, you know. So it'll pop up from now and again, but we're not gonna. Probably won't see it much, but I do. So I'm like, well, what do I want to work on? What do we need to do? The P47's on hold because of markings, but I think I said this last night. Is I'm going to probably do everything except the serial and the squadron codes, and then when I get the squadron codes, I'm just probably just going to cut stencils, but I might buy some Make-Tar stencils, or Make-Tar. I guess that's Make-Tar because it's M-A-K-E. I think, and maybe I'm wrong. I probably am wrong now that I already said I'm probably wrong. But if the stencils are the same, if the World War II stencils are the same as the modern U.S. Air Force stencils, I could just get one stencil set, which would be cool. Because the other aircraft that I'm doing as a tribute build is, I need custom codes and stuff for that too. And then again, I got decal paper. I could print them. But, you know, I don't have an inkjet printer. Well, I don't have any printer anymore. I don't print at home anymore. I haven't for years. So it's like, do I really want to go out and buy a printer so I can print my own decals? I'd rather go buy a vinyl cutter and like a cry cut or something and do my own masks. I really like the look of painted on markings. If you haven't had the opportunity to see them in person, there's just, you know, it's like what bare metal foils thing used to be. It looks like metal because it is metal. Well, it's the same idea. It looks like it's painted on, well, because it is painted on. Right? So, yeah. But, wow, I can't believe the weekend's already over. How does that happen? How in the world does that happen? Speaking of over, Jeff, you got to go back to work? Do you have to go back to work tomorrow? Man, that's going to suck. I don't know. If I had that much time off, they'd have to totally retrain me. I probably couldn't find my way back. Is this where I'm supposed to be? Sorry, I didn't mean to ruin your evening. Wow, what the heck am I doing here? I don't have a clue. This is just odd. Some odd stuff. Okay, well, what do I want to do? I don't want to put all these little fender brackets on right now. I can tell you that. So I'll skip that. I think I've already got, I got the headlights and stuff on. I got these hooks on. Now, I'll show you something here. If you notice, let me get this out of here. Let me get this out of here. Sayonara. If you notice, this thing has the camera resolutions and everything has changed with this new computer. I left the little screw gates on these lift hooks, and I do that because it's just easier to sand them off and get rid of them. Excuse me. When they're attached to something, right? When they're not attached to something, they're just a hassle. They're just and you know, your parts go flying and stuff. So I just leave them on here. I'll take some nippers or the razor saw. I'll cut it off close, and then I'll sand it or file it off to finish it out. I find that simpler. My work truck is in the shop, and my soup has no plan B. Oh. I ever tell you why managers have meetings? Why meetings exist? My theory. Meetings exist so that managers don't have to make decisions. Right? They can basically let the other people in the room make decisions for them. Okay, so where am I at? I don't want to put... Okay, so I guess I'm here. I guess we'll do this thing. Where is it? It's right here. And then we'll do that, and then we'll probably start at the turret. This is Tamiya's European Theater Easy 8 kit. I probably told you that before. It's okay. It has some things that I'm kind of... that I find interesting. I guess I shouldn't, but this is apparently an old mold Tamiya kit, or maybe it's not. I don't really know. But if you can see there, you see how that it's got the guard for the vision port, but then it's got I don't know if you could see it, if that thing will focus, but it's got the lift ring at the outer edge of the hatch is just a raised, molded in, like weather vane thing or something. Come on, Tamiya, really? That's kind of, I mean, it makes for a nice, easy build, so that's good. But it's also kind of lazy. So I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to cut this guy out of here. And this is this tray, this shelf thing that they put on the back of Sherman's. And K8, so these are the side brackets. And then L39, wherever that is. And I just realized A is for Apple. No. L, oh, there it is. I'm not an armor expert, but my guess is that this is the cleaning rod for the gun. I could be completely wrong, but that's my guess. Ooh. Number 41. There's almost no parts left on the sprue. Am I the only one that when you get to the bottom, you get to where there's almost nothing left on the sprue, you just want to like take the parts and put them on? Am I the only one that gets that way? You can get this sprue in the trash can. Okay. So I'll build this, but I can't put it on because I can't put it on yet because I need this on before I can put this on. But I'm skipping ahead because I don't want to do all these. That's the truth. You want the truth? You can't handle the truth. That is definitely in my top 5 movies of all time. Top 5 movies of all time. Let me see. This one really isn't that hard. The top, well, I'd say the top 4 aren't hard. Apocalypse Now, which is just crazy good, I think. A Few Good Men, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, Moon, which is an excellent movie, but you can only watch it once. Because once you know what it's about, you can't watch it again because you know what's going on. It's one of those movies. And, I mean, there's 100 different movies that tie for 5th place. So those are probably my top 4. Okay, where are we at? Meeting for them are sales meetings. Meetings for them, are sales. Yeah, sales meetings. You know what? You know what I've learned working for small businesses? A few things. One is a lot of small business guys are just lucky. They work hard, don't get me wrong, but they don't really they're not efficient, and that's okay. They're not obviously not a well-oiled machine. Some are, don't get me wrong, some are. And the other thing I've learned working for small businesses is nobody knows how to run a business. Nobody. Every business is different. And every customer base is different. And every, whether if you're in manufacturing, everybody's manufacturing different stuff, and ISO can tell you that, hey, you need to follow this or you need to do that, and IPCA, IPC can tell you things. And all these different people can tell you all these different things, but the truth of the matter is, at the end of the day, every business is unique. Every transaction is unique. Every customer is unique. You know, there are customers that you can't get along with, but they can get along with one of your competitors or somebody else perfectly fine. For whatever reason, that's just reality, and that's just the way the world is, and that's okay. But it's really funny, I think, because, and I'm not the only one with this opinion. So, I'm not claiming to be some kind of business Jehovah or something, but lost my train of thought. Oh, that I don't think you can really teach somebody how to run a business. Sure, you can go to college and get a business degree, but does that really help? What does that do for you? I mean, is it helpful? I'm sure it's helpful, but it's a fluid thing, you know. It's not science. Business and stuff is really kind of more of an art than a science, I guess that's what I'm thinking. Anyway, so yeah, I have too many favorites for a top 5. Yeah, I hear you. I have favorites too, but there's I can't tell you how many times I've watched Apocalypse Now. And I'm not sure that I can tell you why it has the effect on me that it does. And that is that, to me, it's the ultimate... and there are some really good anti-war movies out there, don't get me wrong. But to me, Apocalypse Now is kind of the ultimate. This is insane and it's stupid. and what the hell are we doing here? And I don't want to get into a political thing. We're building models and it's plastic and it's supposed to be fun. So I don't want to get off on a tangent, but to me, that movie is just, I don't know. Every time I watch it, I'm just like, wow. What a freaking mess. And I know it's fiction, but if you have any kind of real knowledge of the stupidity that goes on behind closed doors, that well, you know where I'm coming from. It's just, it's ridiculous. And it's not that, well, I don't want to get off on a tangent. So I'm cleaning this nub off of here, and if I knew where my freaking saw was, I'd be using my saw. Problem with moving shops is you don't have all of your stuff in the right place at the right time. And with spring coming, I had to mow yesterday. I didn't get everything mowed. I just mowed one little bit before it started raining. And that's the problem we have here, is when spring hits and the grass starts growing, it typically starts raining and you don't get a chance to mow the grass because it's raining every afternoon or whatever. And then it just gets out of control. And then it takes you forever to cut it because it's so long. And So it's like this huge race. It's you against the clouds, man. Now you're probably wondering, why aren't you gluing this in place and cleaning it in place like you did the other one? And the answer to that is, I don't know. I thought I could just do this here and it would be simple. And it looks like it has been for the most part, but I will admit this center one is kind of a pain. So we'll just see what we got here. All right. So did you finish the 262, Joe? I bet you did. I bet you did. I bet you did. Burned out on decals. Well, you know, if you like doing all the stencils, you could get an F4. If you really like stencils, the F4 is the way to go, man. That'll get you burned out on stencils. This one is cleaning up a lot better than the other one did. Okay. I don't know why I'm doing all the tiny stuff. It's like putting lipstick on a pig. I don't know, man. I don't think you give yourself enough credit. That thing looked pretty good. The picture I saw of it looked pretty good. Look good to me. It goes on the bottom. It goes on the bottom. Like this. I gotta figure out how to ventilate this room somehow. There's no ventilation in here whatsoever. Okay, there's that. Now, chop, chop. So the outboard is on the top. So it goes like that. Okay. Okay, I get it. But does the double hinge go on the top or the bottom? I think it goes like this. Or does it go like this? Well, no, because that would put... Oh, wait, I can flip it over. Well, no, that still puts the other thing at the top. Okay. So it goes like this. It goes like that. Okay. There we go. Why do they always make these racks open? I don't know why I'm doing. Oh, I already read that. Oh, I was doing some more research on the super secret airplane project and discovered that I was having, like I said, I needed to get, I need custom stencils, custom aircraft number and serial. And I discovered that the serial does not have a border. So I can just cut a simple stencil or print a simple decal, which I might do, but my problem with the decal is that I have, like I was saying before, I don't have a printer here. I could print it at work, but all we have at work are laser printers. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Just using this MBK here to clean up the edge, like I usually do. You don't want to let it get somewhere where you don't want, you know, it'll eat your detail and stuff, so you got to be careful with it, like I just did right there, but that's all right. I'm not that concerned about this kit. I'm just building it. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. I mean, it doesn't even have realistic lift handles on the hatches, for God's sake. Why would I spend a bunch of time on it? Okay. So, pencil, right? And I can cross this out. So this is done. And I don't want to do these either right now. So I'm going to turn the page like Stevie Nicks. That was a bad reference. Was it Stevie Nicks? Yeah, I think so. And hey, look at, here's a whole bunch of L stuff. So I can get rid of, I might be able to get rid of the L sprue. No, not quite. You know, I don't want to deal with any of this little fragile stuff until I know where my saw is. I need to get my saw. So I'm going to move on to the turret. So I'm going to take these little hatches. I have not glued these hatches in because I don't know whether I want them open or closed yet. And I'm just going to take our little shelf here. I could attach it here, but I don't want to because there's something that goes underneath of it, the starting handle. So I don't want to go there with that. So I'm going to move my rulers here. And I'm going to put him up here. And we'll start on the turret. Okay. First things first. That's L. So what do we need here? We need a couple of little things here. We need this, we need this. Oh, they're telling me to cut these off, okay. And then I'm gonna need K37, which is this guy. And K33. Which is this guy. And K2, which are these guys over here. I'm going to cut these off proud because I'm not sure what the story is with those. Did I lose one already? Where'd it go? Where'd you go? Seriously? Oh. Oh, that just sucks. All right, we'll deal with that in a second. And a 28. And that's this guy. Okay. Where the heck did that thing go? It's one of the pivots for the mantlet. Okay, I gotta look for this part real quick before I totally forget all about it. Huh. Right there on my chair. Yay. Okay. Moving on. Is there another thing that needs to stick up through there? Not yet. All right. So these little I got the sprue gates on this thing set up where they're And then on the edge, if this was something if something was getting glued to it, it would be, the screw gates would be on the gluing edge. I'm sure there's some kind of technical term for that. And I probably knew it at one time, but I don't now. But, which makes for cleaning up, I don't know, I guess better. I don't know if it's better. I mean, they did the same thing here. So the idea is you cut these things off and then you, all you have to do is sand this surface flat right here. Man, I still got steel wool on these stupid things. So there has been some discussion about doing a group build. And before everybody panics, I'm not, it's not going to be anything crazy. You know, we're just talking, I'm just thinking about just picking a subject and giving everybody 2 months. And if you finish it, you finish it. It's just going to be fun. It's not about prizes or anything like that. It's just about a bunch of people building on a theme. Maybe we should call it a theme build instead of a group build or something. Because I don't want it to be intimidating at all. And the subject matter that's been kicked around, and I'll admit I'm the one that threw it out there because it's a subject that I tend to like, is night fighters. And my original thought was, well, maybe we could do that on the monogram page, but I think, you know, but then that limits everybody to monogram. And I don't want to do that. So I think I'll just do it on the ShutterAce page, and we'll do, I'm thinking about May 1st to not May 1st. Well, yeah, I guess May 1st. It's already April. How the heck did it get to be April? Wow, how did I forget that? I mean, I just had my birthday. I know my birthday's in April. See, this is what happens, kids. Your brain quits working. One day you wake up and you don't know anything. You wake up and you go, where's my trousers? Who are these people? This is not my beautiful house. Right? I don't know how I feel about these sprue gates on the gluing surfaces, because, especially in something like this, because I'm afraid I'm taking too much material off. You know, You probably notice I usually use a fairly wide sanding apparatus, and that's because in my head that helps you keep the surface flat. And that could be total garbage, but that's what goes on up here. Wow, okay. I was just thinking the turret looks really big. I wonder why. Okay, so that fits pretty good. This thing we don't really need to worry too much about because this is just the platform for the figure to sit on. I'm going to put it in there. I don't know if I'm going to leave the hatches open. That said, I think armor looks much better with the figure. And figures aren't that hard. Not once you kind of figure it out and figure there's really no wrong way to do it. You can knock them out pretty fast. I don't know. Some of you may have saw my PBR that I did a couple of years back, and I did the figures on that. And those were really only like my second or third attempt at really trying to get some decent looking figures. And honestly, it took me quite a while to do the first one. But once I did the first one and I figured it out, the rest of them went easy. I mean, I blew them all out really fast. And I'm not sure why or what was the motivation or whatever, but they went very, very quickly once I figured out what I was doing. You could say Nightfighters from any nation, that opens up Britain. Yeah, Nightfighter Bill. Let's go back to that. Thanks for keeping me on topic, Jeff. That's your job. Jeff is my editor-in-chief. Your string. Yeah, no, that's what I do. So, yeah, actually my thought was any nation, any era, any scale, that's the only criteria, Nightfighter. And I guess what I would say is dedicated Nightfighter. Because there's instances where they took like a Hurricane or a 109 or 190 or something. They threw flame dampeners on it and told the guy, have fun. Is that really a Nightfighter? I mean, is he fighting at night? Yeah, but is that really what we're talking about? I don't know. I'll leave it up for discussion. My feeling is no, that doesn't count. But I'm really looking for participation and not a bunch of legal mumbo jumbo. That said, let's not get ridiculous about what counts. And I guess you could even nah. I think we're probably pretty much. I guess that does kind of limit it to aircraft, but with it being any era, I think that leaves it pretty much wide open. So I know, what do I have in my stash? I have the DO335, the monogram DO335 that I want to do the, yeah, that, is that what that's for? Wow, is that how they did that? Funkadelic. Wow. I'm still used to the camera being over there. Oh, okay. We'll make this happen. So yeah, if that sounds good, I'll do up some stuff. I'll announce it over Average Joe's, and we could do it over an Average Joe's, but I'm really not looking for anything formal. HE 219 and a BF 110 is what I have here. You got the Tamiya Uhu kit? I had it. I sold it. I kind of wish I hadn't, but I did. Yeah, that's a sweet kit. I have. You know, I bought that kit and I bought all the Model Master enamels, all the RLM colors for the paint scheme on that thing. So I have all that for the. So I was thinking about doing that DO335, but I also have the monogram P61, and I have what's that Japanese? To me, it is a Japanese nightfighter. Nah, it's I don't know, a really sleek looking thing. I'd have to look at it. It's partially done. And you know, and that's another thing. Mine's still sealed, afraid to open it. Man, I'll tell you what. Well, you know, you built some Tamiya stuff in the past, and that stuff, there ain't nothing to be afraid of. When I got back into this hobby in 2010, I think it was, I mean, like full time back in, I never really totally left. I kind of divilled around in trains and stuff for a little while, and you know, when you got young kids in the house, you're always worried about the knives and stuff laying around and whatnot. So that was always kind of a problem. So there was a little bit of a somewhat hiatus there, but you know, I built a lot of stuff even when I was living in apartments as a bachelor. Completely forgot where I was going with that. Oh. What I was going to say, though, is, man, there's nothing to be afraid of on that Tamiya kit. You want something to be afraid of. I had the DML what is it, the 189 or the what is it? I can't remember. The 189, is that the one that they never actually built, the Mosquito? Is that the 189? Oh no, the 189 is the owl, or not the owl, but the flying eye thing, right? They did that as a nightfighter too, didn't they? Yeah, the eye. That's not what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of. Hang on. Bear with me. Let's see here. It's not the JU-88, obviously. It was. What is it called? Yeah, they made night fighters out of almost everything. But the purpose-built ones. Man, what is it? Mosquito. TA-154. That's what I was thinking. TA-150. Yeah, 154. Sorry, I was on a different screen. Anyway, that dragon kit of that thing is. I never actually built it. I had that too, but from what I understand, it was pretty much a nightmare of a kit. But like I said, I don't really know. So, so these literally just go right here in these holes, and that thing lines up. Is that what I'm seeing here? Just like that. Okay. Hold it down, make sure it's straight. I bought another 190D knife for 12 bucks. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Dora. I like the A's. TriMaster, well, you can't go wrong. TriMaster Folk Wolf. Folky Wolf, or however you're supposed to say it. Yeah, those are pretty sweet. That A7 with the slipper tanks that I built a year ago or whatever that was. That's what that is. Can't tell. Where's the key? There's the key. There's the key. I gotta get the key lined up so it drops in the hole. There we are. Okay. I'm not a fan of the long nose. Yeah, I think they really ruined the looks of the plane when they did that. I think, the original 190, the A's, the short-nosed A's even, are just really, it's a beautiful plane. And I realize they're not worried about what it looks like. They're worried about the performance. So anyway, yeah, that TA-154, that was a pretty cool looking bird. What are we doing? What am I doing? Okay, so there's that and that. Let me get back to my thing here. This kit's really weird. It's got like, it's got a single piece barrel here with a separate muzzle brake, and it's got some really nice cast texture, and it's got these stupid grab handles and these. It's like, what? It's almost like a Italeri, early Italeri kit. You know, Italeri with 2 E's instead of 1 E. But it's not. I don't know. It's weird. It's odd. Very odd. Just getting rid of some stuff there. One thing I'm glad this thing does not have is individual track links. I will tell you, without a doubt, that individual track links look great. But man, that's a lot of time. You know, it's a lot of time. Okay. Oh, 1 millimeter hole for what? It wants me to open a hole. It wants me to open that hole right there. Is that the only one? Yes. Can I get down there with a blade, or do I need... Hang on, I'll be right back. Ow. This kid's over there sleeping. He's been asleep since like 3 o'clock. He went and hung out with some of his college buddies last night and then had to be at church at 9, so I think he's probably going to be snoozing for a while. All right, let's see here. That's a little small, but it'll get us started. These are interesting. I got these at Harbor Freight a couple of years back for almost nothing. And the only thing I can figure is they're seconds or something because they're not sized. They're not marked. But it was one of those things, they were cheap, and it was like, pick them up, and maybe I can use them for something at some point. And so they do come in kind of handy, but they're, like I said, they're not sized, so you don't really know what you have. Man, that's right on the weld seam, really? That's where it says to put it. Right? Yeah, that's the one it says. Huh. Okay. Anyway. Back to the 154 kit. So from what I understand on that thing, the nacelles are just a nightmare. like I said, I don't know. I didn't build it. I sold that too. So yeah, so what are all of these? N1, are these clear parts? Nah. Are they? They are. It's got clear parts for the vision ports on the cupola, but only on the cupola. Weird choices. Okay, now what I should do is I should paint this black on the inside before I cement these together. But being the rebel that I am, I'm not going to do that. You rebel scum. But rubber bands. Chances are I'm probably going to close this thing up. We'll see. I don't know. And if I do, you know, decide to put the commander in it, we'll have to see what he ends up looking like, because he's in two, you know, his body's in two pieces and whatnot, which might be a problem. Okay. Yes, yes. Are we there? It's time to pimp the auto. Those are great commercials, man. I love those commercials. What time is it? It's time to pimp the auto. Okay. Cool. There we go. Done. So I built the Academy, the M4A2, Russian M4A2, Lend-Lease M4A2, which is, you know, kind of the same idea. It doesn't have, it's not the VVSS, but I don't know, I liked it. I know there's people out there that don't like the Academy Sherman kits, but I liked it, and honestly I think it was better than this. And I was building the M10 and I jacked the M10 up. I ended up warping the body trying to straighten it, and I just made it worse. The upper hull. I mean, don't get me wrong, this is a good kit, and I'm sure it'll look fine. But I just I have to admit, the molded on grab handle blobs I don't get it. I don't get it, Tamiya. I don't get it. You did all this beautiful work on this thing, and you couldn't give us grab handles that look like grab handles. Anyway, I think that's it for the evening. I think I am probably, I don't know, what am I going to do? Let me try something here. I got these new things all set up to where I can switch cameras. Pretty cool, huh? Anyway, so yeah, so I'll put some stuff together. We'll start the nightfighter group build or whatever we want to call it. Do we want to call it a group build or the SA friends of SA build or whatever? I don't know. We'll think of something interesting, and it's just going to be, I'm thinking 2 months, but maybe we could do it. Maybe we make it a month. I don't know. I'm thinking 2 months is reasonable. 3 months is too long. So yeah, let me know what you think of that. I'll put like a poll up or whatever, and we'll deal with that. And but yeah, Night Fighter, any nation, any era. You know, like it'd be cool as like an F3D Sky Knight from Korea. After you get into stuff like, when you get into the late 50s, early 60s, and you start getting into all-weather fighters and stuff, there's no such thing as a night fighter after that. I mean, so, something to keep in mind. But anything that's not necessarily specifically designed, but specifically modified. And the reason I'm saying that is things like the JU-88 and the ME-110 and the ME-210s. Those were specifically modified radars I added and stuff like that. I think that's perfect. That makes sense to include. Mosquitoes, British mosquitoes, the Havilland mosquitoes. That makes sense. Beaufighters, P-38s, the P-38Ms. You know what I'm saying. So, anyway, we'll do that. I'm going to go ice my back. Yeah. And go from there. So, hey, that's it for the week. The PC's working. Gravity's working. So what you're saying is don't just paint your BF 109 black and call it quits. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Don't put spark, flash hiders on the exhaust pipes and paint it black. I know they did that. And that's what I'm saying. It's like it just doesn't work in my head. That's not legit in my head. Or is that just me? I think that's... I know they did that stuff. I know they took hurricanes and threw flash hiders on the exhaust and not working for me. Sorry. So yeah, there we go. Hey, that's it. I actually set up buttons so that I can just shut this thing off without flipping screens and trying to see what's going on. So hey, that's it for the week. I'll put some stuff up on the for the whatever we're gonna call it, nightfighter build, and we'll go from there. Right? Hey, I hope you had a good Easter, and take care of the people you love. We'll see you next time. Bye.